Ben's here.
Yeah.
Ben's here.
Whoa. Oh.
What are we going to talk about?
What about me?
What's your fear? What's your fear?
It's about me.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
Finally. I've been waiting for Ben. I invited him like 3 months ago.
Yeah. For once, it's about me.
This is what we do. What's up, dudes and ladies? If any ladies listen to this, my mom probably does.
Hi,
hey,
Mom. Stu's mom.
Hey, Mom. So I am super excited about this podcast because I am fortunate enough to be joined by one of my good buddies that I've known since I moved to Las Vegas. In fact, you were probably one of the first people that I met in Las Vegas back in the old Caesars studio. And he is an awesome dude, prolific songwriter, musician.
At one point in time.
What else do you do? You don't do much else. I'm just kidding. You do a lot of other things. You apparently opened a landscaping business.
Yeah.
You still work for a major casino company that shall not be named. You probably extract the information from this and get
Yeah, probably. Look me up on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's leave out my last name.
That's right. We'll say, what's your alias for today?
El
Barto?
El Barto.
El Beno.
I'll take it.
Like Beano?
Yeah. Beano? What?
No.
Okay. What am I?
This is the worst intro yet.
Yeah, thanks.
Because it's just supposed to be.
I've gassed. Usually, what he's saying.
Usually the intro. This is a small booth. Please don't.
Yeah.
Usually the intro is more like me talking for like 15 seconds, just giving a quick intro. But like, we already had a couple of beers, and
I can't shut up and stop interjecting.
I don't want you to, because basically I want the next 2 hours to just be like you talking about some crazy shit. So there's two things. Let's just jump into the show intro. Ladies and gentlemen, beer freaks.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, my name's Stu Hawk, and this is my podcast about all the weird, crazy, spooky things that scare me and my guests, and the one thing that helps us forget all about them. Ladies and gentlemen, beer freaks. Dun, dun, dun. What's up, man?
What's up, Stu Bob?
Oh, I missed that name.
Oh, yeah, it's been a long time since I called you that.
I haven't been called that since 2014.
Yep, probably when you left our old company.
Yeah. Well, actually, I left in 2013, to be fair. It's been 6 years.
Wow.
More than 6 years.
Yep, so we've only seen each other probably 3 times in that time.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Where we used to see each other every single day. I miss those days.
I do too, and we have almost no excuse because we don't live far away from each other either.
It took me 20 minutes to Uber here, so
yeah, that's not bad.
You used to live even closer too when you were down in the valley a little farther.
We would always meet at Corey's.
Yep.
Which another shout out to Corey's. Corey's better start paying me for this shit.
For sure.
Yeah,
and me.
I fully expect that. Yeah. Well, they can just pay us in free alcohol too.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We'll take that,
dude. No, but you're not kidding when you say like it's been like 6 years. We've probably seen each other like 3 or 4 times, but like life gets in the way, man.
Yeah.
We're both dads. Congrats. Your kid's about to turn 5.
He'll be 5 in March. I can't believe it. It seems like just the other day I was driving my wife down Eastern, for any local listeners, hitting every single...
You mean the 3 of them?
Yeah. Hitting every single... stoplight on the way to St. Rose Hospital, and she was like fucking cursing at me like, hurry up, like I control anything. She was like freaking out, having contractions. It was great.
I mean, the last thing you want to do is get like a speeding ticket on your way to... Do you think a cop would like give you leniency if your wife was in labor?
I sure hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
You never know. You could have like an asshole who's just like, hang on a second, guys. We got to run all your information.
A real letter of the law guy.
Why don't you go ahead and give me your license too, even though you're in the passenger seat?
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So here we are in a booth at Stu's house. And
my 8x8x8 booth.
Yeah, my new prison cell, because I like to hear myself talk. So I'll pretty much just be here recording myself ad nauseum from here on out, guys.
Yeah. I have a lock on the door now, so you won't be leaving. Because I'd like to see you more often. So
Fair.
Yeah.
Cool. I thought you were just asking me to produce the show for you, so you didn't have to put so much work in. But that's fine. I get it.
You mean like putting this clamp on my recorder box?
Yeah. A little clamp on the PreSonus.
That's tough for that.
Yeah.
That's hard work right there.
Of all the years I spent in music studios, this is a first, and I like it because it shows gumption.
I thought about putting like tape on, but I was like, you know what? I got some clamps. It's because the button broke. PreSonus, get your shit together.
Yeah. Post-Sonus. Ugh.
Lame
Sorry,
sonus.
little dad humor. That didn't
There's
land.
going to be a lot of that tonight.
Yeah,
I
a
fully
lot
expect.
of dad humor in this one.
I hope it just goes down that rabbit hole and it becomes unlistenable to anyone who's not a father.
So, as a big listener of podcasts and not one to be kind of a pedestrian here and just kind of a passerby, I want to kick off the podcast by saying the first beer Stu Bob and I will be reviewing is Firestone Union Jack.
Dude, I should have, because you walked into my house, and you're like, you have this this shopping bag, and I was like, hey, do you want to crack one of those before we go on the show? Because first of all, it show goes a lot more smoothly if we have like a beer or two before the show, just for.
We did.
And we did. But we didn't have this because you said...
I'll crack it open on the air because it'll be fun.
You wanted to surprise... And at that point, I was like, what the fuck did Ben bring? Like, what's he surprising me with? And I should have known because I remember when we were at Nacho Daddy.
Oh, yeah. We were crushing a lot of nachos that night.
So many nachos.
Half in the bag, maybe 3/4 in the bag.
I'm so bummed, by the way, that Nacho Daddy closed on Eastern. I loved that place.
Well, good for us. There are other locations or we can make our own, but...
Yeah, but I'm not going to do either of those things. Sorry, Nacho Daddy. And we got pretty boozy, and I think we started saying, when we were ordering Firestone Union Jack, I don't know why we started saying it like this. But
I think you started, and I went along with it. I was
Union Jack.
Union Jack.
Union Jack. And I think the waitress hated us.
Yeah, she wasn't feeling it, as I recall now that you mentioned that.
No, I think, but I think we were also blitzed enough to not worry about it at the time.
Yeah,
but when you look at it in retrospect, you're like,
I love it.
I was that guy.
And every time I don't even buy Union Jack because I like it. I don't not buy it because I don't like it, but I buy it because I think of Stu every time I drink it, and I say, Union Jack.
You have to. I can't not now. And I do get Union Jack every now and then, and I think of that night specifically. And what was that, like a happy hour we went to with the Caesars crew?
Must have been.
Yeah.
And then it usually devolved into your wife, my wife, you and I going out.
We were the last.
And having a lot more fun.
We were the young bucks.
We were.
Those were the old days, man.
So, that, my friend, let's crack this open on mic. I
think Zombie just cried in the background.
I like that you have a dog named Zombie that's still alive. The irony's not lost on me.
As far as you're aware.
Cheers, my
man.
friend.
Cheers, Union Jack. Oh, man.
Here we are.
Now that's a beer.
So, from what I've listened to on the pod, you like to really press the guest to make sure and, review the beer and not just be like, it's good. Yeah. And then like move on to like the convo, right? Not that I say convo in my daily life.
Yeah. Well, you sound like a...
Yeah, I'm a millennial.
Yeah.
I suppose. I'm at the edge of millennial and like fucking baby boomers.
Edge
somehow.
millennialism?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you're an okay boomer.
Yeah,
okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer. Yeah, that's pretty much how people treat me at work, but that's all right. I'm still there. And so, no, I think this beer is like a quintessential IPA. I think the only ones that are, this is not a great review of Union Jack necessarily, but to give you a barometer of like a great IPA and what you should look for in a textbook IPA is like, Lagunitas IPA, I would say, is my baseline. If I taste one that's nowhere near that, I'm like, you have no idea what an IPA is, right? This one's has a little more body than that. It's a little smokier. I don't know. Would you even say it's It's almost like they aged it in like whiskey barrels a tad.
So I don't pick up the whiskey, but what I do get is a little bit of malt, a little bit more. So like what I would say is about one of the reasons I really do like Firestone is, you mentioned Lagunitas. I like Lagunitas too. It is fucking hoppy. It is hoppy as shit.
Beyond, yeah.
And that's coming from a guy who loves Stone, which is some of the hoppiest beers. Green Flash makes a great West Coast IPA that is hoppy as fuck. But like California is known for very hoppy beers.
Sure.
Like that is, New England style IPAs, the hazy style IPAs, they kind of dull it down, right?
And I like those. I like those
I do
hazy
too.
ones a lot better in the summer.
Sure.
Because, it's a little more
Juicy.
refreshing. Yeah.
Juicy,
Yep.
Well, in the last podcast with Wendy, the owner of Craft House, she gave me the rundown of any of the differences between like juicy, hazy, all the New England style.
Okay.
And so it was interesting to learn. I didn't retain much of that information, but I could always refer back to that now.
Yeah.
But like New England kind of dulled down the IPA, where to be fair, it was probably getting a little out of control in California. It's like they're just trying to make it as hoppy as possible.
Sure.
But what I like about Firestone is that even though it's a California IPA, it's not crazy hoppy.
Yeah.
So this is a 7% beer. So that's no joke. It's not.
That's enough to get the job done.
It'll do the work.
Yeah.
But you're not sitting here like, geez, on your second or third one, you're not like, God, I can't handle any more hops.
Yeah.
Like you're not, your palate's not dead yet. So I'm not picking up the whiskey, but I do pick up like a little bit of malt, a little bit of something that is a little mellower tone.
Sure.
Rather than just that pure hoppiness that you typically get out of a California IPA.
Yeah. And another thing you might laugh at is at one point I was drinking, not even just drinking so much IPA, but I had noticed every time I'd get a really hoppy IPA, my first one, my second one or whatever, you'd hear me sneeze about 20 times.
Oh, gee. Are you allergic?
I apparently am allergic to it, but I'm not going to give it up. So if I start sneezing on the pod, I'll walk out, guys. I'll excuse myself and come back. But
no, I think you should do it right into the mic, so everyone's
achoo.
aware.
Yeah, Gesundheit.
I want everyone to know your allergy situation.
And
maybe this is a shout out to Firestone. Anyone who's allergic to hops, if you don't sneeze, maybe
Firestone.
It's Firestone.
Cool. We just found their marketing angle.
Firestone, you owe me a few bucks. It's
Dude,
cool.
we market everything. Yeah. Seriously.
Well, that's our lives, man.
That is what we do. I don't know how we ended up in this, but we did.
Somehow.
So
we came from a background of what? What did we do?
So what did you go to college for? You went for English or did you go for marketing?
Well, I went for advertising. With a minor in marketing.
Got it.
Actually, it was technically a certificate in marketing and a minor in electronic media and film. And hey, look, I'm back to it. Electronic media, not the film part, but
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, here we are.
Yeah, and I went for a journalism degree, and no shout outs to UNLV here.
You're wearing a UNLV sweater.
Yeah,
right now.
I am.
It's a good thing this isn't a video podcast.
Yeah, so it's my. I wanted to feel comfortable, and it's the most comfortable garment I have. As if I'm in like a muumuu or something.
Yeah,
but,
what is this? Like I was trying to come up with a joke.
Wow, I can't believe I went there with garment. Okay,
yeah,
I'm 90.
That's cute. That's
Sorry.
Cute. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. This is my most comfortable sweatshirt I have with a hood on it.
Nice.
And so, so I went to UNLV and I pursued a journalism degree originally. As it actually boiled down, I got a communications and an advanced English degree because they couldn't offer enough journalism classes in my major.
Really?
So, that happened.
It wasn't like they lost their accreditation or like what happened?
No, they just literally didn't have enough for all the students that were enrolled. So they were like, just take more English classes and we'll give you a communications degree.
Oh, geez.
So that happened. And it's fine. I love how it all happened because it all benefited me in different ways.
Well, one of the things, so I actually started in my major for the first 2 years of college was journalism.
Okay.
And I didn't have that same issue. What I did have is when I became a junior, I learned how much journalists typically make.
Yeah.
and then I learned how much advertisers typically make. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I think I'm going to switch because like there were a lot of credits that transferred over between journalism and advertising. And so I was like, yeah, journalism, not for me.
No, I'm with you.
I'm not handsome enough to be like a well-known journalist.
Yeah.
I'm not charismatic enough. So like I was like, I'm not gonna make it to like New York or LA where that's where the money is.
Yeah.
You know, or national syndication. I'd probably wind up in El Paso. All right. And I don't think there's a whole lot of money in El Paso news.
Yeah, and I was
Sorry, El Paso.
Yeah.
Just relax.
We'll come by later.
Yeah. Sure, you have some good breweries down there.
I'm sure. So, no, when I got out of college, I was a reporter for the Boulder City News. That was my first job. And so I was a...
what happens in Boulder City? What did you get to report on?
I actually got to report on police shootings.
Jesus.
I had some really cool stuff going that I won't mention to this day, but there were some... Oh, man, there was a major story I was dealing with a public official. I'm going to try and dance around this because it's never been settled to this day. With a public official whose husband was dealing a certain product and...
Paraphernalia?
Yeah, something like that, but a major one.
Marijuana?
Major weight, right? And I happened to find out about it when my buddy and I, Chris, were drinking at this seedy fucking bar. It was disgusting.
In Boulder?
Yeah, I would never go back there. I wouldn't take my worst enemy there. So it's just, I don't know, whatever. A hole-in-wall bar. And this Vietnam vet looks over as we're talking about my current work at the Boulder City News. And he's like, why don't you report on this guy who's dealing cocaine and all this shit? And I'm like, dude, all right, if you just tell me what's going on, I'll look into it. So I looked into it with like city officials and... like, it was real, and I won't name names, and I think folks know, and I'm so far removed from it now, like, I don't care about saying it. Again, I'm not naming names, but
Is it anyone who's still active in
I'm
politics?
not sure if they're still active, and I don't really care because no matter what, like, it's all hearsay, and I don't know how much of it was ever real. But I definitely looked into it, and I respected that part of the craft. Like, even when I'm, 3 a.m, 4 sheets to the wind, and my buddy and I are like drinking at this hole-in-the-wall bar, and I get a tip, I was working it, and I was taking note. And it was just interesting, like, that life, but I'm glad I'm not part of it now. I don't think it was great for me, but I don't think it was bad for me. I don't know, it was just a phase in my life.
It's all learning, right?
Yeah, and it was great, too, because, like, even now, like, I kind of want to stop you from interviewing me, and I'm about to interview you at any second because
I'm not that
of
interested.
that training.
I'm not that interested.
Neither am I. I don't, it's just, it's fun.
Well, I don't know. You're talking about a politician who is slanging cocaine.
Was not
or their
was
spouse,
not a politician
or a city or some sort of.
Let's dance around that part.
We don't need to get
dance around that part. Anyway, these were allegations 100%.
Harry Reid. I'm just kidding.
All allegations, but I did delve into those, and it was something I was proud that I had the balls enough to look into because these weren't not scary people. No, fortunately, I don't think I got far enough down that one. I did delve into it far enough with some sources that I knew that I think were actually working back with said person, and that's not why I stopped pursuing it by any means, but now in hindsight, now that I'm older and wiser, I think I realized what was happening. And this person was literally in my house kind of asking me about, it was a friend of mine from high school that knew this person and was asking me questions about it.
So were they trying to like lead you to it?
No, I don't even remember how it came up, but the person kind of like, it's just somebody I knew from high school. We were a few years removed. Well, no, 5-6 years removed, and we were all hanging out, and I just happened to bring something up, and he kind of knew them as well. But then he started leading down a path, and I was glad I didn't go much farther because I don't know how fruitful it would have been.
Yeah.
In terms of a score, in terms of a story, but also too, like I think it could have actually been very dangerous.
Well, you're still alive.
I'm
you
here.
Got out of journalism.
I'm with Stu Bob. Sorry to jump down that rabbit hole, but that's like kind of the stuff I lived.
It would. You should have just lied and said that you started getting death threats and maybe saw a gun or two.
Sorry, man.
It's okay.
Yeah, I should have. CNN
This
would have
isn't
hired me.
yellow
maybe.
journalism here. We don't do that.
Yellow journalism.
Yellow journalism.
What did
Isn't
I
that what
just
it's called?
kick?
You're kicking my 3D printed stuff.
Shit.
Man.
Sorry, man.
I worked hard on that.
Your 3D printed like machine gun.
Well, I've got. Like,
You're one of those Second Amendment guys. You fucking weirdo.
Sorry. Well, I am.
That's such a stretch of the truth. Sorry.
I like that. No, it's good because I think like you know, and most people who know me would be like, Stu definitely does not align with. But I do try to stay away from politics on the show as much as possible because it's so fucking divisive. But you and I were talking briefly before the show.
Yeah.
And not to go down not to talk about politics in terms of like what we support and what we don't. But what we did talk about that I'm more than willing to talk about on the show is actually what I really liked about Joe Rogan's podcast, which is just that people need to start being open to hearing other people's opinion without jumping down their throats. And I think Joe does a really good job of that. And that's what I like. So like I don't mind talking about the Second Amendment or the First Amendment or whatever because it doesn't hurt to have a conversation.
Yeah, and to me, like, to kind of preface what that joke meant to me was like, okay, I read international and national news at night, things that are far enough out of my neighborhood to help me fall asleep, right? They're interesting, but they also help me fall asleep, right? But I was hearing about this jack off who does these 3D printed, AR-15 parts and can fucking and pull off all these like help people pull off these unpermitted firearms, which I'm not a fan of. But if you know me and my family, I'm not a fan of firearms either. Like I grew up in a hunting family.
Is it double negative?
Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't have.
We're following. We're tracking.
So thank you for calling me on that.
You gotcha.
The
English major.
English
Come
major.
on,
Yeah.
man. Come on. You're better than that.
Not a fan. So that's fair. And so that was just a random joke, like that he had these. I don't really get into politics either. I just thought it was kind of a funny thing.
Well,
I read about it and.
Your joke went right over my head because you're right. No, I totally forgot about the fact that people are like 3D printing guns, and that's pretty dangerous. When it's not regulated.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah.
That's
a weird one.
Out of all the ideas that are out there, I'm not feeling that one.
That one seems a little slippery.
I'd like Smith & Wesson to be the only manufacturer of guns, so we only had one, and then we regulated the shit out of that, and we could track it all. Now, do
you think that would help
face
things?
of monopoly laws and all that, but I don't know if it would help things. I'm just saying, like from a pure logical standpoint. So again, not to launch into politics because I'm not about that either. It just my random joke. Thanks, Ben.
Ben, you did fine. Actually, I should have picked up on that. But more than anything, I just have a lot of 3D printed toys that I thought Jackson would like. So like I have like a bunny and a robot and a T-Rex.
Now,
T-Rex is his favorite.
Are you literally printing these, or did you buy these printed?
No, I have a 3D printer. Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah. No, it's easy, dude. It's easy.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I've got it upstairs. I'll show you after the show.
All right.
3D printing is not as fucking complicated as people make it sound. Well, I don't know if people make it sound, but I think people assume it's complicated. It's not complicated.
I'm mostly interested to see, to make useful shit out of 3D printing and to combine different materials, how does that piece happen? Okay, printing one thing out of one material.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
easy.
Interesting.
That's easy.
That's like when we went from black and white to color jet, whatever.
Yeah.
So I just so curious about what's that next thing.
Oh my God. So the 3D printing that I'm doing is plastic.
Okay.
It's called PLA. It's just a spindle of plastic. Like it's just like literally like a roll of string, but instead of string, it's plastic, and it just feeds into the printer, and it's just you plug in basically like what's that fucking 3D software?
What the fuck is your neighbor doing, dude?
I don't know. I think someone just got murdered. I think they're rolling out their trash cans.
Wow.
Don't they know I'm doing a fucking podcast in
God
here?
damn it.
Jesus Christ. Fuck it. Can I put like an on it?
We're We're doing a pod in here. Sorry, that was for effect. They didn't actually hear me.
I hope they did.
Yeah.
They'd probably be like, what
Yeah,
the
they're
fuck?
still rolling the trash cans.
You know what I
out,
should get?
so-
I should get like one of those on-air signs on my garage.
Yeah.
Like on the front of my garage and
That's
just
it.
light it up.
Not even on the front of your garage. Change out your address number
jeez.
for on air.
And
That's when you know you're a podcaster.
would that be my podcast or would that be my postal code? Like it would actually be
on air?
on air.
Here, let me get your
Kings
address up
Eagle
and say
Street.
it on the air.
Yeah. Yeah, again, for the 3 people who listen, hopefully none of them are psychos. Yeah. I forget what I was saying. It wasn't that interesting anyway. But
No, that's all right. That's the beauty of what we do. Is like you and I will travel down a rabbit hole, and then we'll be like, all right, we're tired of chasing the subject, and just fucking change it.
I can tell when I'm not passionate about something, but I feel like I need to finish the thought. And sometimes I want
Yeah.
an interruption so that I can just be like, yeah, fuck, you know what? Forget it. Let's go back to it.
There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, from a pure standpoint, as a podcaster or a broadcaster, sure, one should finish the point, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
like, so there are people out there.
That sounded empty.
It's close to it. That's for sure.
Oh, okay.
It's a good thing you brought a whole damn 6-pack of that.
Oh yeah, and then I think there's more inside the house. That's
We've got more.
Interesting.
We've got more. In fact, I've got a whiskey that I'm gonna have to share with you because you Ubered here, so you did the right.
I
you
did,
the right thing.
and then I have to go.
Relax, zombie.
I think Stu mentioned that I have a landscape business on the side, so I have to get up at like 5:30 tomorrow morning and go work on people's yards. So I'm gonna feel great after I get really drunk with him. So
You damn well better.
can't wait.
But the good thing about a landscaping business is you better be able to drink beer while you're working.
I don't drink beer while I'm working, but the best part is you can sweat out a hangover faster. Like you remember what it was like when you were a kid and you had like those hard jobs. Plus two, best part about this, I haven't been in this greatest shape in my adult life.
You look good.
Thank you.
You do look good. And when I shook your hand, it was fucking like
Oh.
a rock, man.
I have
You
dry
might need
skin.
some.
I don't
some
feel it.
moisturizer.
Yeah, I probably need some moisturizer.
But those are working man's hands. Those are the hands of someone who works
I'm
hard.
back to it, man.
I feel like
love
a
it.
baby over here.
That's
Like,
all right. Yeah,
I spend my days typing on a keyboard.
that's all right. I'm doing the same
Speaking
thing.
into the
I
mic.
like to do both. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and crack this.
Crack
I
it.
don't want to like cut in line here, but here we go.
I'll crack mine too. I don't want you to feel like an alcoholic here.
I mean, yeah. I'm gonna dance
It's
around that trope and idea.
Well, you said you listened to
Wisely.
two of my podcasts.
I listened to
You
two of
listened
your
to-
podcasts.
you listened
Ty was the tough act to follow. I mean, I have a lot of gab, or a gift of gab, some may say, or just can't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But no,
better
that
one.
guy's actually smart and really.
I work with him. He's not that smart.
No,
Ty,
go back to bed, buddy.
get it together,
I don't even
bro.
know what that means.
I don't know.
Um,
Ty
No.
was hilarious. Ty was fucking on point, and I was a little bummed because he had to go pick up his girlfriend, so we had to keep it to like 45 minutes. But I think we could have gone for a couple hours.
That's short. So now I want to, as the interviewer in me, ask you, okay, I'll preface it with a couple ideas and then ask the question is like, probably 6 years ago when I was a lot funnier before my kid was born and like life got really serious. I
You
had
thought
some-
you were funny then?
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Hey, Stu, I'm gonna hang up my headphones even though I don't have them on right
Oh,
now
boy.
and just exit.
No,
quietly.
you're good. This is
So-
going to be a good podcast.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
I feel good.
I
We're already
feel
like
good,
30
too.
minutes into it.
Wow,
Believe
only 90 minutes left to go, and
We could go for 4 hours if you could.
I'll pretty much go full Rogan. I don't give a fuck. So now, as far as this goes, I had friends that I thought were exquisitely humorous and hilarious to the point even, and was like, hey, why don't we do a podcast? Because I was like, I'm funny, you're funny, we could fucking produce this, we could put something together. And they just was like, they were
English major, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, fuck me. So no, I'm just so nervous, like trying to get out of point. But anyway, they would be like, no, why would we do that? Everyone's doing that. No one can get one off the ground. And you, in all your infinite resources, right, have actually spent the time to put together a booth and do this and pursue it, regardless of the the result. What was the end goal? And even if the end goal wasn't, I want to be famous, what was the end goal in terms of like satisfaction? That's what I'm interested in.
Oh boy, that's honestly. So here's where it started. So first of all, I'm an idiot, and I like. So this booth that you see around you, like, it's very simple. It's literally like
it's fully fucking framed, people.
It's fully framed, but it's like some plywood, I should say, and some 2x4s, and then I decorated it a bit. But I walked into this literally thinking, and again, this is my ignorance of this whole thing. So I was like, I get into hobbies, right? So I was like, look, podcasting sounds cool. I would love to have conversations with my friends about the two things that I really enjoy from an entertainment standpoint. I like to drink good beer, and I love horror, sci-fi, freaky, weird things. Like, that's always been my bag. Like, I have watched horror films since I was, well, my mom says when I was 4 years old, I was like sitting in a chair in the living room and peeking my head around it. And she realized that I was watching Child's Play, Chucky.
Yep.
Right. And I was like 4 years old. And so like, I remember I watched The Sixth Sense and I couldn't sleep that night, but I was obsessed with the movie. The Shining is one of my favorite films of all time. Like, I love horror films and I love sci-fi. I love weird shit. And I love end of the world stuff. Any of this stuff. And I found that generally any night that I drink with friends, the conversation typically devolves into end of world scenarios. What would you do if, or like what scares the shit out of you? Or maybe it was just me talking about what scares the shit out of me and my friends being like, I'm fucking tired of this conversation, but Stu, you keep going. So I realized, like, look, I just want to, like, I might as well, see, like, record it for a couple of reasons. Like, yeah, cool. If it winds up doing anything and people like to listen to it, then maybe it makes money, whatever. I really don't care about fame, but if it helps me make money, cause I have a son and college tuition is very expensive.
Yeah, it is. Tell me about it.
So, I got some shit to prepare for, but the other thing really was just more, how cool is it going to be, maybe 40 years down the line when I'm 70 years old and I'm like, yeah, now I have these great conversations with great friends recorded that I could look back on and be like, yeah, I had some cool ass friends and I had some cool conversations. So that's where it came from. And then I thought, I'm going to build this podcast booth in my garage and it's going to be super easy because it's just a box. That shouldn't take a whole lot of time.
I love that.
So I literally, like, the first weekend I tried to build it and I started putting up some shit. And I started tacking some things together and literally, like, one of the plywood boards fell over because just the weight was off. And I was using 2x2s, not 2x4s. And that was obviously a mistake. And so I immediately called my buddy Blaine, who is an engineer. And I was like, look, dude. And he was the first person on this podcast. And you can go back and listen to that podcast, which I think was great content, but it sounds like shit because I didn't know anything about audio at that point. But anyway, so we built this booth, but it took literally 2 weekends to build what looks like a very fucking simple box. And that's a long story about how this thing came to be.
No, but it's not just, okay, in today's world, yeah, everything's so pristine and perfect and, like, anybody who has a perfectly, produced podcast, yeah, they have a lot more than this. But I love the idea that you took it upon yourself to say, I just have an interest in this. I want to pursue it regardless of the net result. And net result, not in, will I get a recording? Because fuck anyone, we can all press record and get a recording. But, this is something. It's put together. You can hear it on iTunes. It's nice. I really respect that because, again, I had some friends that, really shouted me down at some point. And when I thought, okay, we could put something together, and these were really talented, funny guys, and, that was it. So I just want to say I really respect that.
Hey, man. I do appreciate that. It took some work. It took a lot of learning, but like, and that's why I started that last story with the fact that like I've really taken up a lot of hobbies lately. A lot of that comes from the fact that I have a son who's 2.5 years old, who goes to bed at about 7 o'clock, 7:30. Well, 8 o'clock now, but he used to go to bed at like 7. And a wife who is a morning person, not an evening person. So she would go to bed shortly after him. And I'm a night person. Yeah. So I basically had 2 to 4 hours every night of like, well, what am I going to do now? And so, I mean, a couple of years ago, I started doing stop motion, which for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's basically a nerd version of animation where you take a million photographs of something and it moves like a millimeter every time. And eventually it comes together to look sort of like an animation. And so I did one with Lego, like my opus was, I shit you not, I created a stop motion video using Legos to make a music video to one of my favorite songs of all time, Starlight by Muse.
Okay.
And it was this fucking thing that like this Lego dude was like about to get married to this chick, and then he had to go off into space to do this space exploration. And then, you know, time passed and he wound up getting lost in space. So he didn't get back until he was like super old. It was very touching. I'm touched. You consider me touched. I'm not touching you right now. Just for the viewers
I was thinking about touching
home.
Myself though.
Oh, well. I mean, it wasn't supposed to give that sort of emotion, but if it did,
well,
who am I to criticize how people, you know, take my art?
Yep. Exactly. How about we, do you mind if we take a break here?
You may, because I know one of the things that happens with a beer podcast is you have to pee.
Gotta pee.
Indeed. Folks, we will be right back. And we're back, and about a pound lighter each.
Yep.
And good pee.
Yep.
I feel like this should be like a traditional radio program where it like plays like the flush sound right now. Was that good enough?
Yep, that was good enough.
I
feel satisfied.
Well, this is Radio DJ from
KW Flush and Flush.
Yeah, and wah, 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 we play nothing but sound effects. And Ben just took a pee. Whoosh.
Here we are, guys.
Yes, we're back to it.
Oh, love it.
We didn't have 7 beers during that break.
Just 2.
Yeah. Actually,
additional.
We didn't even have that. We had
one.
Like
one. To be fair, probably 1 additional.
Half.
So here we are.
We had to chat about some other things.
Stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's good. But so now we are to the point where, we're like 40 minutes in, and we haven't even gotten to what scares you. And this is another guest that I'm happy about the fact that you haven't told me what scares you. You wanted it to be a surprise.
No, I would never tell you beforehand. I want this to be an organic conversation. God, I sound so fucking corporate America when I say that.
Stop it! It's Friday night. You should have left the corporate on the table.
No, when I say an organic conversation, I do mean it though. It's just like God. It's like when I say level set with somebody or something.
Do you have enough bandwidth to level set right now?
Oh yeah, it's fucking disgusting. But it's all useful language, and I do like it. It's just I don't know. I think of like what has become of me. But anyway, here we are, Stu Bob. So if I was to say, all right, so you kind of you level set with me when we talked about doing this podcast. You were like, all right, man, we're going to drink beer. We're going to get really drunk, right? We're going to review a beer, and then I'm going to ask you what.
That was selective hearing by Ben.
Yeah, mostly is. So usually is. So you told me, you know, I'm going to ask you what your biggest fear is. And I sat there reeling. It's probably been 3 weeks since we talked about this, that we're now in the room. And I think I have to stop at one thing as my biggest fear. And that is that, you know, based on numbers, right? I'm going to be 39 next April. By the numbers, that means my life is essentially half over by most estimates, right? So therefore, have I done half the things I wanted to do in my life? And if I haven't, I better get going. And not only that, like from there, can I populate that list fully, or even in the second twilight of my life, if you will? And not twilight. I mean, that's not looking at this holistically, but can I populate that list of the things that I would like to do? So am I making life happen for me versus happen to me? I know that's super Tony Robbins of me, but that's where I'm at. I think that's where I settled is my greatest fear.
So so where you're at right now is you're halfway through your life, presumably.
By the numbers.
Presumably.
I hope I'm not. I hope
medical science.
I hope
comes
I get
a long
100
way.
years and medical science kicks in. But let's just go by the numbers. Let's be pragmatic.
Sure. That's fair. So you're halfway through, and you've lived a hell of a life. You've done a lot of stuff. We got to talk about your song. See you next Tuesday.
We gotta downplay that part because I said a lot of bad things.
Well, we can come back to that.
Okay.
But you've done a lot of things. You've done a lot of cool things. But I think every person who gets to this level of their life struggles with the idea of like, okay, where am I right now? And am I so first of all, have I accomplished the things that I wanted to accomplish? And B, am I doing the things that I want to do? And I think that's a fair fear. Nice. Well done.
Yeah, I didn't even wait for you for the next beer. I got to jump in, brother.
Well, now we're addressing the fear, which is fine. I mean, so you drink away, man.
Yeah, I got to placate.
I think the tagline of this, which I actually thought was pretty good, longer than my old advertising taglines, and I'm certainly not as good of a writer as I used to be, but it's all the things that terrify us and the one thing that helps us forget all about them. That's Beer Freaks, man. That's what we do. That's what we do here. So, dude, but that's legit. I'm dealing with that myself, even though I'm a couple of years younger than you, but I think we all come to that.
Of course.
And ultimately, what we're talking about is the fear of death, right? And not necessarily death, not death.
Running out of time.
Running out of time.
And ability to achieve objectives. I think about it.
Does death scare you? Like the idea of just death itself?
I don't know. I think it'll scare me more 10 years from now, but won't scare me 20 years from now. I think once I'm 60, I'll be a little bit more adjusted to it.
You think there's like an arc to it?
Yeah, I do. I think at 40, it's scarier than 50. I think at 50, it's like, okay, maybe you settle into like wherever you stop. But then between 40 and 50, it's like, fuck, I'm halfway through. I've got all these things I got to check off. Like, dude, I'm within the next couple of years, I'm trying to figure out a way for like my side business to do what it does to where I still do it. But then like, if I want to, run an Ironman, hopefully earn like a black belt in karate or some shit. I wanted to do a bunch of stuff throughout my life, and these things seem like throwaway things. Like, I want to run a marathon. I fucking did that. That was actually.
I remember that.
That was fairly easy.
You had to like stop drinking with me for a while for that marathon.
I think I stopped drinking like slightly. Come on, let's be honest.
But I would like be like, hey, let's have this third beer, and you'd be like, nah.
Yeah, that was probably back then. Nowadays I'm in a crazy different shape where we can do that. I can go do an insanity class because I do a lot of that on the side.
Wait, what is it?
Insanity?
Oh,
like the Shanti thing.
Yeah.
So I go to group classes and it gets me in super crazy like cardio shape. It's the silliest thing for a man my age to do in a group setting.
No, dude.
But I've never seen more abs in my adult life since I've been doing this and like a little bit of keto and just kind of managing my carb intake. It's fucking insane. And I can still drink beer and enjoy myself.
If you're feeling good about it, I don't think it's any like what you just said struck me, and I think it's important to reiterate this is like the idea that like you're ever too old to do something, or like a man your age. You said a man my age doing this as a bit. Like,
Yeah, I hope I don't come across like a 50 or 60-year-old man.
No.
I'm 38. It's just
but even if you were a 50 or 60-year-old, I think it's ridiculous to say something like that. I think every single person in the world has, and like America, I think probably especially, I don't know. I mean, I haven't traveled a whole lot, but like, I think the idea that, we have this particular set of skills, like Liam Neeson, that we acquire between the age of 18 and 22 when we're in college, right? And that's what we're supposed to do for the rest of our lives. And if it doesn't align with that, or what we've done in our past experience, if it doesn't align with that, then we're not going to be good at it, or we're not going to ever be experts at it. I think that's fucking crazy. I think when you're an 18-year-old and you're learning about psychology and you're in Psych 101 and you think you're a fucking expert, you're not a fucking expert. Even when you're 22, if you've done 4 years of it, you're not a fucking expert. You know what? When you become an expert in anything, it's when you do it for fucking 10, 15, 20 years. And the only way to do that is to just throw yourself into it and start.
Yeah.
So like, dude, I don't know. I think like if you're enjoying insanity, if you want to run a fucking Ironman, like just you are awesome because you've already fucking run a marathon. I could never run 26.3 miles or whatever that is. There's no way but I also don't want to do it. Like I don't desire
so
to do
let's drill down, or as people say nowadays, let's unpack this. It's all in your mentality. What do you want to do? And that is what I think the struggle is for me. Is I can pick a bunch of hard shit and do it like that, like
right.
Run a marathon. I've done it. I nearly shit my pants at the end because you literally run.
But at least you didn't shit your pants like that guy who shit his pants. Did you see that picture?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God. He was wearing short shorts and it was just all over his groin.
Oh,
it was terrible.
No, like you get to
That's
the
a
end, you're
famous
like,
picture.
I gotta find a toilet because you've been running for. I did 4 hours and 46 minutes.
Can you imagine the gravity on your intestines? Just shoving it down over and over.
It's crazy.
Oh
so like, yeah, we did that, and it's all a matter of what you want to do, and that's when I say about being, possibly halfway through life and stuff like that. Like, what did you want to do? That's the important part is want. What and you define it. So like furthermore, when I say that also too, defining that, can I even fill up my list of what I would like to do in the next 40 years? Wow, that's a tall order. So you know
what's really hard about that these days? And I'm sorry to jump in.
No, I love it. I want this to be more of a conversation than me going ad nauseum and being like, I'm lost in life at fucking advanced age, right?
Well, and I want a
that's
little bit of that.
Kind of what I feel
enjoy.
like. I don't want to be that. I'm
enjoy-
not that. Like, I have a good life.
You're not. And I mean, you have a fucking great life. You have a great family. You got a great place. You live in a beautiful part of Las Vegas, which there are very few of those, by the way.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest problems is like, so I think you hit the nail on the head when you were talking about like, what do I want to do? So I think you're right. You could do what you want to do, right?
I'd like to clarify. Anyone can.
Well, right, but yes, and some people can't because some people just aren't that motivated. They know what they want to do.
Okay.
And they won't do it.
Okay.
But you will do it. I've seen you like when you were preparing for that marathon, you took it very seriously. You were running half marathons for like a month before that just to prepare for it. Like not official half marathons, but you were running like 15 miles.
Before the marathon, I ran 20. I think the last run I did 2 weeks prior was 23 miles through several parts of town, all of which I lived in throughout various parts of my childhood and adulthood.
That's a commitment, man.
Yeah.
That's a commitment. People don't do that.
And it was hot.
People don't fucking do that. Like, so that you could do it, but I think the right question, and you're right, the right question is, what do you want to do?
100%.
And so here's why I think we get into this dicey area, right? Because if you go back even 200 years, right, you didn't get a want unless you were like a king or a queen or like an aristocrat or like unless you were in like the top 1 percentile you didn't get a want. So like if there's been a democratization of the word want, it's been over the last 200 years. And all of a sudden, even middle classes get a want.
Yeah.
I want to do this. I don't like versus I just need to work and provide for my family and I'll get to keep living. I just want to keep living. Like,
Yeah.
You're fortunate enough to keep living. That's what you want to do. Now we are at a point in America, which is obviously the wealthiest country in the world, where everyone gets a want. And, you remember like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like you get the bottom of the pyramid is just like literally physical, whatever. And you move up, but like now we're literally at self-actualization, right? So we're at this point where we're trying to figure out like what will actually make us like fundamentally happy, not fundamentally live, but happy. And that's not just ball pits at McDonald's, right? Which at some point in time, that was like enough happiness for everybody. But eventually, so now this transfer of knowledge that we have with the internet. So we see everyone else being happy.
Yeah.
We see like this guy on his vacation, this girl starting a business, and we put this imagination on ourselves where it's going to take this extra amount to be happy, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because we should always be striving for something. But we also need to, I think, like remember that external things, and I'm not saying that that's what you're talking about.
No, not at all. I'm so tracking because I really love whatever points you're about to make. I just want to hear it.
My point is just sometimes happiness just comes from within, right? And I think that that's something that we've forgotten, and that's not what you're saying. Like you're not saying I want to go buy a Porsche and that's going to make me happy. What you're saying is you're trying to find your happiness. And I think that the problem is we have too many things that we see every day in social media. And you gave up Facebook, by the way. I want to talk about that a little bit later.
Yes.
But let me just finish this.
Let
me just finish this.
Please do.
Let me just finish this, and then we'll get into. But we see so many different variations of happiness now. Yeah. Whereas like people in the past didn't used to see variations. And by the way, I'm just like stream of consciousing this.
No,
so, like,
I love this.
I'm
Let's
like,
do it.
This is not like something that I've pre-thought about, but like I just think that we see so many forms of happiness every day. Like if you go through your Instagram feed, you see people with their friends at the bar playing pool. Well, that looks happy. Like why don't I just do that every Thursday with my buddies?
Yeah.
You see people traveling to Hawaii. Why don't I just do that a couple of times a year?
Because that's life, right?
You see people on Instagram who are just very attractive. Like, why don't I just go to the gym every day? There are a lot of things that could make us happy. And historically, I don't think that there have been that many opportunities to be like this level of happy. So I think we're now struggling with too many choices of what will make us happy.
And we
Does that
know
make
what
sense?
to do it. No,
we don't
absolutely.
Know, and we don't know.
I've never thought of it that way.
We've like humankind has never had like happiness 1,000 years ago was just I survived today. Like I ate and I slept under a fucking tent and I'm happy. Like that's fine. That's my happiness. But now that we've got all of this technology and all of this shit at our disposal, like it's no longer enough to just eat well and sleep well. Now it's what else can I do to drive my happiness?
So should we break there or shall we keep going? Because I have thoughts.
Let's go. I mean,
okay. I will draw a 100% distinction between joy and happiness.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of happiness.
Happiness
is great. Happiness
okay.
is great when I'm like tickling my son. I could tickle you right now. You and I, my friend, could experience the same happiness.
Yes.
But the joy is so much deeper, right? So also too, when like I walked into your backyard earlier and you're like, I fucking can't stand what I'm looking at, right? It's like, I know what we should do here to bring everlasting happiness when you walk out, satisfaction.
Yep.
I draw huge distinctions.
Just make sure you keep talking.
I'm so sorry. I'm like
you're wandering a little bit.
So,
but I love the passion, and
yes,
I don't want you to. I don't
course.
want to take you off
No.
the subject
So
here.
the idea is like to get off of the distinction of happiness versus joy. Happiness is, somebody says you have a nice scarf on. Not that I ever wear a fucking scarf, but
You've been all about garments tonight. I'm just going to throw that out there.
That's fair, my friend. And it's really about joy versus happiness. It's the longer term pieces of it. Whereas as Stu looks out his backyard, he's like not completely unhappy with it, but we make something that is useful to him, and it makes sense, and it brings him joy when he looks out at it. But he doesn't have to call me every single time he looks at it. It's everlasting. That's what joy is versus happiness. Happiness is I walk in and be like, "Hey, Stu, nice shirt, you dick." Or whatever.
Not going to make me happy at all.
Probably not. But I'm just it's such a
not when you finish it that way.
Yeah, such a douchey way to say it. But that's kind of what I'm saying and what I see in life. But Stu, stop me. Like
no. Okay.
Reposition me where I should go with this.
No, I like the idea between the difference of happiness and joy. I think that's important. But tell me what you think about like the proliferation of happiness and the way that it's changed, or joy, however you want to describe it. But I think we're sort of saying the same thing here. Now that so maybe this is a good time to talk about why you dropped off of Facebook.
Well, I would challenge anybody to. This is going to feel weird to anyone who's especially younger than me, but to just drop off of Facebook and social media altogether.
Do you have any social profiles?
No.
Really?
LinkedIn?
No. Okay. Well, that's different.
For obvious reasons, but those are different.
Yeah. So no Instagram.
Yeah, you start dropping money in front of my face, so we'll talk.
Well, sure. Okay. So no Instagram, no Twitter, no
nothing. I've never touched Instagram. I've never touched Twitter. I take that back. I touched Twitter a little bit early on.
You are in media. I mean,
I am in media, but it doesn't mean I can't fucking understand it. I'm not retarded. Fuck it. I said it. Like I'm not.
Cat's out of the
I'm
bag
not
now.
fucking stupid.
Ben hates retarded people.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, my aunt
Relax.
was mentally retarded. So, all right, cool.
No.
Yeah, so
That
just
was a
so I
joke.
can get woke points and everyone can get off my fucking shit for what I just said. I'm not stupid where I can't deal with it. It's just I don't find it useful. And I was originally forced into Facebook at my old agency, and they were like, "Oh, you're such a dinosaur, this, that, the other thing." I was like, "All right, cool, then I'll try this thing." And it was fine. I just don't find a value for my life, and I don't find a value at all for anyone's personal life, and I hope it goes away. I don't find it useful even for like keeping up with relatives.
What bothers you the most about it?
Nothing actually bothers me about it. I just don't find a value in it.
You don't. So
I think that's a huge distinction. It's not that it bothers me.
Yeah.
I just don't find a value.
So like,
or what value is there is so minuscule compared to what we're paying to Mark Zuckerberg. And I think he's a fucking prick.
I think he's a robot.
Yeah.
Very
So,
possible.
dude, I shouldn't say things like that. It's just that's.
Well, he can't kick
what
you off
is.
of Facebook.
Wait, good luck, buddy. Unless
You're
he
good.
Unless he buys LinkedIn, and I can't get another job after this.
Actually, that's probably possible. Well, Microsoft owns LinkedIn now, right?
Yeah, which is fine. I just re-upped from my Office 365 subscription.
Oh, so you
Sounds
really
cool.
support like one major company then?
Yeah.
Are you a Microsoft?
Yeah, I'm a Bill Gates guy.
You're a Gates guy. Yeah.
Gates v. Zuckerberg.
I like Gates.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I've
I'm
never been
into him.
I've never been in like in what way?
You know, I like his vegan shit.
You like his buns?
Why you took me down a path?
I don't think I took you down a path. I think you went down a path.
I went down a path.
I just let you go.
Yeah.
Is
that right?
I let you wander.
Here
That's
are.
my style. That's my parenting style. Jackson just wanders, and I just say, "Yeah, I'll see you in an hour."
How many bumps does your kid have on his head right now?
Oh God,
Like 8.
I don't even want to count.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You and me both.
No, actually, he's pretty coordinated. He hasn't fallen. Yeah.
That's good. Whatever's happening outside, I'm not feeling.
Yeah. Well, you know who it is? It's the guy down the street. He's got an Audi. What's the fucking Audi that has a V10?
The R8?
Yeah, that's what he's got.
Okay, so you live in a good neighborhood. I feel good.
No,
about
but
this
he's the richest guy in the neighborhood.
No, I feel good about this for you though.
Oh yeah.
I was pissed until that, and I was like, okay, my buddy Stu's doing good in life.
Yeah. Well, he's doing great. I'm doing okay.
That's fine. It's about buying the most affordable house on the most expensive
Why does everyone
block.
say that? Everyone says that. It's like a typical like nomenclature. That's the wrong word.
Yeah, but you saw
But it's
what I
like-
did in Anthem Country Club, right?
You did fucking wonders. Your backyard is incredible.
Yeah. Well, life worked out. I mean, we had help.
Well, shit happens. It's good.
Life was good.
Life was good.
So
You guys bought at the right time, right?
Yeah.
You guys had
we got
had a good
Let's
investment.
bypass this.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. That sounds like
You-
a douche if we talk about it.
There's nothing wrong with that. We're doing well. We're not schlubs. I
Yeah.
couldn't have built a podcast booth in my garage if I had no garage.
That's right.
I mean, yeah. Anyway,
All right, so fear. No, I want to turn the tables here and ask you what your biggest fear right now is.
oh Jesus, man, God.
Even if it's not your biggest fear, just
There's two.
give me a fear.
Well, let me tell you what I've stopped being afraid of, because
Oh wow, you fucking turned it on me too. You're like, I'm not afraid of this anymore.
well, no, I think it's important for anyone who's listened to past episodes. I am very happy to report that I am no longer, as of probably like a week ago, and maybe I'm jinxing myself right now, but I mean, do you watch horror films? No.
I don't watch anything. I'm under a rock, bro.
Jesus,
It's awful.
what's wrong with you?
I know.
What have you done with yourself? What do you do in your spare time?
I mean, I shave twice a week.
I
don't
doesn't
look
look
like
like
I'm-
it to me.
Not the beard. I mean, around the beard. Yeah,
You trim
I got
twice
you.
a week.
That's fair.
No, so I let me just reiterate this, and if anyone has actually listened to all 10 episodes, which I very definitively doubt has happened, but if they did, I talk about this a lot. The movie Hereditary. I watched the movie Hereditary like midsummer, and it happened to be right around the time Amanda left for a work trip. And I had heard the movie Hereditary was very good. And so I was like, okay. I put Jackson to bed, and it was just me. And I was like, yeah, cool. I'll watch this movie, and I'll have a good time. It'll be great. So I watched the movie. Turns out it's horrifying. It is a terrifying movie about demons and darkness and what happens when you're asleep, and just really, really fucking horrifying things. Just really scary. And to the point where, like, my imagination is wild. It's just, it goes absolutely bonkers. So I had a hard time sleeping for a while. I mean, I shit you not, like, I would wake up in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m. and have to pee. But I didn't want to get out of bed. Like, I'm like, this is my safe place. I'm not leaving. So I'm just going to try to force myself to go back to sleep, and which, of course, is a losing battle because you got to pee. That's what happens. And so, happy to report, as of about 2 weeks ago, I think I'm finally over that fear.
Okay.
I'm no longer terrified of the darkness. It had me. So so let me just preface this a little bit, even though I've already told the story. So there's no preface. This is basically just a prequel now. This all started when I did watch Sixth Sense, which we talked a little bit about earlier in the show. When I watched Sixth Sense for the first time, I was 11 years old, and that was the first time I never slept an entire night in my life. Like the entire night, I stayed up because I watched the Sixth Sense at the movie theater with my parents, and I thought it was a great movie. I loved it. I was so enamored with it. I thought it was just so cool. But then when I laid down and my parents went to bed and I was laying there as a little 11-year-old and I was like, there's definitely a ghost outside. 100%. And I never slept that night. I never even fell asleep at all. And for like the following 2 weeks, they get in my head. Like those movies get in my head. And that's
for sure.
Like that, which is weird because I still love horror films. And I like it. I'm almost like a glutton for punishment when it comes to that stuff. Like
I'm the same
almost
way.
sadistic, you know, but anyway, so I'm very happy that now I think I'm finally past that. But it took me like a month to get over Hereditary.
Yeah, I love those stories because they freak me out, and I can't get past them. And I don't know about not being able to get up in the middle of the night to pee and like freaking out, but I like anything that really scares me to my core.
But you don't watch horror films.
Not anymore, but I really used to when I was a kid. I used to love it when I was a kid.
So when did you turn into a bitch?
Oh wow!
I'm sorry,
that.
I had to ask.
No,
that
I gotta
question.
own that. No, I used to love Jason.
Oh yeah, okay. All right.
Jason was really the thing that freaked me out. Freddy, all of that. I had a kid, Jason. I'll say his fucking last name. I don't care. He probably took on his wife's last name by now. Jason Nussbaum. He was so
good for him.
So in
Modern Man.
yeah, that was a hopeful joke for me. So Jason was so fucking freaked out when we were kids in elementary school. Here in Las Vegas, like talking about Freddy all the time. That's all he talked about was Freddy and Jason, all this shit. And I couldn't watch all these things. I'd watch them.
You weren't allowed to?
I wasn't allowed to, yeah. He was, because I don't think he was really watched as a kid. Maybe.
Bad kid. Bad parents.
Wasn't his fault. But he was allowed to watch these things, and I was so enamored with him because he had all the intel on Jason and Freddy. And be like, oh yeah, you like download you on it because that's how the 80s were, right?
Sure.
And yeah, that was crazy. I used
Well,
to be into it then.
that's what we always have to worry about, though, right? I mean, is the one kid who's gonna ruin it for all the other kids? Like, you have a kid who's almost 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, do you guys do Santa Claus? Do you guys like what's your plan there?
So the plan with Santa Claus is like kind of go until he doesn't want to go,
Right.
and
He believes still, I'm assuming.
yeah, it's kind of weird. Full disclosure, I mean we're Jewish and well I'm not, but half my family is so,
Right.
By marriage. So and my son. So, we kind of placate all this stuff until basically he doesn't want to. That's the idea.
Right. So he believes in Santa
Yeah.
currently, even though it's like a dual, which is awesome that you guys are.
Yeah, of course.
But so here's the thing: you're gonna have that one kid, like in first grade or second grade, who's gonna be like, Santa doesn't exist, because his parents are assholes, or they're not working hard enough to keep this ruse up, right? So he's going to come home one day way too early and be like, Santa doesn't exist. My buddy Rudy told me this.
Yeah, but my kid will be able to like respond and say, my dad fucking hangs up the lights himself. You know what I mean? Like, my dad does these things. So, yeah, maybe Santa doesn't exist. That's the part that doesn't bother me. It's like, so long as I get up there, because I live next door to a guy that does crazy menageries, right? And I'm not trying to match that pound for pound, but I live around people that like to put the energy in, and the energy really is everything. And so then, you know, I do something similar.
Right.
And, you know, try and keep that spirit alive in him.
Yeah.
And even if he doesn't believe fucking Santa, because come on, that only lasts so long.
Right.
It is something.
What's the average? Like, what do you think the average is?
7 or 8.
You think so?
I would imagine 7 or 8.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably fair.
That's
probably
when we'll probably lose it.
Yeah. So you're not far anyway. I mean,
yeah, I could really say fuck off at this point, and he'll be fine.
You think so?
I wouldn't actually do that.
No, well,
that'd be a horrible
son
thing to say.
Son, fuck off.
Yeah. Fuck your Christmas. Hey?
Hey, buddy. You know that Christmas thing you like? Fuck off. You know that fat guy you liked? Nope.
Nope.
Fuck him.
We're going keto, kid.
Jesus.
That guy's an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, we're actually just going to switch to another fat guy. We're going Buddha. We're going with Buddha. They don't have Christmas there.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, so what's next? What's on your mind?
Well, no, I think we should go back a little bit, because I think that I mean, shit. I think the idea that, well, actually, your thing sort of aligns a little bit with Ty, in terms of like. So we're talking about accomplishments, right? And do they matter? So Ty's was more around, do they matter? Yours is more around, are you really getting what you want? And I think ultimately, if you go to if you ask the 5 whys of each, you trickle down to the same thing. So I guess the question is, why do you think that this bothers you?
You know, I don't think it's about achieving everything. I think it's more about defining as much as you can and then achieving that. And it's not like, oh, you know, I set out to be this world's greatest thing. It's just, fuck, man, I've got 80 years, okay? I want to do X, X, and X, right? And if you're honest with yourself, that's not a big ask.
Yeah.
And that's a way better way to go through life, is checking a box of that magnitude and saying, okay, you know, I wanted to run an Ironman, a full fucking Ironman, regardless of the fucking baby steps that go into that. What does it take to do that? And then just do it and check that box. Because ultimately, at the end of your life, you know, there are a lot of fucking old people out there that don't do anything.
Yeah. You know what horrifies me? And this is actually more on like the realistic side, because everyone who listens to this should know by now I'm terrified of ghosts, the dark, all that weird shit. But actually, when I watch like old people hobbling down the street or who can't even walk, like, and not because of a disease or something that is actually debilitating, but just because they haven't treated themselves well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, there are 80-year-olds who are in fucking good shape. There are 80-year-olds who are in better shape than me.
Yeah.
And those are the people who treated themselves well and who moved their bodies for their entire lives in positive ways, not just like hunching over a factory line, but like fucking walked, hiked, moved, kept doing stuff. Like, there are 80-year-olds out there who are in great fucking shape. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's crazy. But you could see 55-year-olds out there who look like they're about to die because they're fucking hunched over and they're hobbling and they can't move their bodies the way that their bodies are supposed to move. Like, that's horrifying. And I'm not trying to pass judgment on these people. I'm just
It's
saying,
not.
like,
It's not judgment, but backing up. How much of it was by choice? How much of it was self-imposed that they did to themselves? Pardon me. And it's not judgment from me upon them. It's about mitigating what do I want for myself, and what do I want for anyone my current age. Like, we do have a choice.
totally.
And I don't know if that sounds like crazy fucking nuts, but these are things I think about.
Well, let me ask you this, because I know, you just mentioned your family is half Jewish, half. Well, I don't know if you're religious at all.
No, I mean I'm nothing.
Do you believe in an afterlife?
No.
Will you pass me one of those? Because we're about to get into some deep shit.
Okay. Actually, friends and neighbors, we need to create a break because we have run out of beer.
Oh,
so
boy.
we're gonna press
Ben
pause.
drank 18 beers.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. All right, we're gonna pause because I got to piss anyway.
Just in fairness, we ran out of beer.
Ran out of beer. And we're back. Was that the most annoying noise I've ever made in my life?
That wasn't your best.
Oh, shit. All right. We're back. And we're back with a new beer that I had that I thought was going to be,
Stu had to make it about him.
as I always do. But I thought this was pretty apropos for a horror podcast. So this is called Monk's Blood by 21st Amendment Brewery. And Ben, do you want to read the entire paragraph that wraps around the can?
No, I don't. I will say that it is way too much, and it says that this was from 300,000 years ago, and that you should feel privileged that you're drinking it.
Good Lord.
That's basic.
That's 300,000 years of brewing.
That's
folks.
the key takeaway.
I think that was right around the time of the Neanderthals.
I don't know, monk's blood,
Neanderthals?
whatever.
No,
I
say it in jest because it's literally like a really long paragraph in Old English that there's no way I would be able to read this. But it is their 10th anniversary. I think it's so you want to crack this beast?
It's been cracked.
All right, let's crack
Here
it.
we are.
Cheers, brother.
Let's touch cups.
I don't think you're plagued.
You don't think I'm what?
Wasn't that the original purpose of like toasting or cheersing cups? So like say, I don't believe that you have a disease. Like, because you would cheers and you would like actually splash liquid into each other's glass.
That's fair. And then we didn't touch cups.
Yeah, but we're also drinking out of cans. It's not like my liquid's spilling into your liquid or vice versa. What do you think of the beer?
That's solid. I mean, okay, let me go in here.
Yeah, let's remember, we can't just give this topical, cursory, review of this beast. It's good. Let's move on.
No, I think it's great. I'm maybe one of the last people you want to review beers because I need a beer to be different. And I don't see that many that are at this point. So many are, they blend for me. This is great. It just, I don't know how to describe it. I'm not some wine connoisseur.
Well, let me
snob, but like,
let me give the description on the bottle.
Okay, that's fair.
On the can. Belgian-style dark ale brewed with cinnamon, vanilla, oak chips, and dried figs. So I definitely pick up a lot of that. I mean, I'm not getting the figgy pudding, if you will. 'Tis the season. But I'm a big Belgian fan. You know, one of the problems that I have with Belgians, similar to the problem that I have with IPAs, is generally such a strong flavor that I can't drink more than like one or two of them. And what I like about this is that it's not overpowering in its flavor. However, just for clarification, because I think this is always important, it is 8.3%. Again, good thing you Ubered here.
Oh yeah.
Very beneficial because this is a beast, and it's taking itself very seriously, but it's not. You've had Belgian beers before, right?
For sure. And usually I like a good Belgian triple. And this is really up there with it. And it has a great flavor. It just, a lot of things don't stand out to me at this point in time. I've had them all, I feel like.
Like when you drink a lot?
Yeah. No, I just mean in general, I drink these things and I feel like I've tasted everything.
Well, I think that's
unfortunate, but that's where I feel like I am.
I think that also is especially true after you drink a lot of IPAs. I mean, not just for like a one night. I'm talking about like over a long period of time. I think you just generally you get to a point where you feel like I'm not getting all of these flavors that you're saying I should be getting.
That's fair, because what you're saying is that I've basically burnt out my pleasure center.
Truth.
And now these things can't reach it.
Yeah.
Well, that's very real.
Your pleasure center is still getting reached because you're still getting a little boozy, but
yes, but
as am
like
I,
it used
as
to
am I.
be.
But I think it's more about like
think about the first time you had a 6-pack of Natty Light, right? You were like, oh, this is great.
I was more of a Keystone man.
Okay, you were a Keystone man.
Yeah,
but
it's
you
important
get
to
what I'm
differentiate
saying
there, just to be clear.
Yeah,
Keystone or Coors on a like. There's a big difference between the $9.99 18-pack for a Keystone or a $12.99 18-pack for a Coors, depending on how rich you felt that day.
Okay, so fair, but the bottom line is
or Killian's if you felt really
well.
rich.
Killian's is great.
It was. I think it got fucked up
Okay.
when Coors bought it. To be totally honest.
Okay, so you're upset about Killian's.
I have been upset since 2006 about Killian's.
Okay.
Whenever they fucking got
as
bought.
well as other things.
I've been upset
in
about a lot of
2006.
things. Yeah, 2006.
That's when Stu got angry.
What else bothered me? 2006. I was frustrated about a lot of things. I was.
It was all.
I think I got
Obama.
a C in psychology.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I was mad. I was a mad person. I remember when. Speaking of Obama, I was so excited when Obama got elected. But this is so indicative of the whole thing. So I was in 2008. I did graduate college, and I was working my first job at an ad agency, but I was getting paid shit. And I was in San Diego, and I was living with my parents. That's how little I was getting paid. I mean, I was still living at home. I had to move from Arizona to San Diego to live with my parents, and I was working at a job at an ad agency, and I was making no money. And but I was so excited when Obama got elected that my new girlfriend at the time, who happens to now be my wife, that was like our third date probably.
Okay.
We went to TGI Fridays and got schmammered. We did. And my buddy Eddie, shout out to Eddie, who now lives in Colorado. Miss you, buddy. We just had I texted them all and I was like, Obama's the new president. We gotta go celebrate. And I don't know. Nowadays I wouldn't, TGI Fridays wouldn't be my go-to, but back in 2008, I was like, let's go to Fridays. We're gonna party it up, and we did.
That's it.
It was awesome.
All right. So tell me about your biggest fear.
All right, we're circling back, so I can't deflect again.
No deflecting. I told you about mine.
Yeah,
you
did.
I'm traversing into old man territory, and I can't walk it back.
Yeah. boy, I'm the host of the show, man. You don't get to ask questions. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
that's fine. You can kick me out.
No, you're right. No, it's fair. It's weird because I think my greatest fear changes pretty regularly, but I think ultimately, my greatest fear is death.
Okay. Which part of it? Just the finality is fine.
Well,
I get it, but there's more than the finality. There's a punctuation.
It depends on what you mean by
finality.
It depends on what you mean by the finality, because for me, and this still actually goes back to middle school when I first really started having these like really visceral ideas around non-existence. Okay. So like, I mean, I guess this, I don't know if this is the normal trajectory, but eventually, you start questioning things. We talked about like Santa and you're a kid, right? Yeah. So like you start questioning things, you start learning, you start realizing like, okay, there are these things that I've accepted that are probably not real, right? And you move past them, and that was the one thing that I could never move past. And it's interesting to me because I feel like I am a very logical person. I'm a very pragmatic person, and but I'm also sort of a romantic, and I think what kills me is the romanticism in me, while battling the pragmatism in myself, and the idea that the pragmatic, really, I guess, thoughtful person inside of me says, I truly do not believe that there's an afterlife. I think that when I die, and I will not be around. Okay. And even understanding that, the pragmatist inside me says, okay, when I die, I won't be around to feel bad about it, right? So like the idea that the romantic in me wants to be around forever, wants to be somehow conscious forever, because I just love this thing called life. Mm-hmm. I love what I'm doing right now. I love what I'm you and I having this conversation. I love that I'm going to go see an air show with my son tomorrow. I love that I'm going to hang out with my wife when I get home. I love all of these things. I love everything about all of this stuff. And I want this to somehow, I want my thought and my feeling and my idea of what the world is. I don't even care about what the world is necessarily. I just want there to be an understanding, a basic concept of me saying we're here. I want that to be around forever, and the pragmatist in me says it won't, and that bums the romantic in me out so much. Like, and let me just say this, because then I'll pause, is that like a lot of what people say is, well, what makes life beautiful is the fact that it's finite.
Yes. I'll stop you there. I'll always stop you there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, one has to stop there. If it wasn't, if life wasn't finite, it would not be beautiful. And we know that. But
let me disagree.
Okay. So what would your alternative be?
Well, I think we should all die.
Okay, fair.
But what bums me out is consciousness. I mean, I would love, much like the rest of the world and the history of all of humanity, to believe is that there's something afterwards. I mean, that's why religion's able to control us, is because the idea of an infinite consciousness is beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's I don't want to live forever.
I didn't say I disagreed with that. It's
No.
like,
no, I'm not saying I disagree.
That's an interesting point.
What I'm saying though is that I don't want to live forever. fuck, I've seen what happens when you get 80 years old and you walk like shit, and things start to hurt a lot more.
Let's just look good till we look good, right?
But what I would like to do, if this was perfection, is, when you die, this is one plane.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the one thing that I'm a marketer. I'm stupid. I'm not a PhD. I don't have fucking a science. Like I'm not a scientist. But here's a couple of things that I'm just gonna throw out there, and if I had more listeners, they'd probably say you're a fucking idiot. But here's my. I finally came to this conclusion a year ago, and I thought that, okay, I think I've finally found a way that I do believe life does go on forever. And actually I found two now. So one is the multiverse.
Okay.
And are you aware what the multiverse is?
I'll allow you to explain.
All right. So the multiverse is essentially universes layered on top of each other with infinite different variations. So like, and let me just say this to you as a quick caveat. Infinite literally means infinite, and people have a really tough time grasping the word infinite because it's just really, really hard to grasp. When I say infinite, some people might think 1,000 variations or 1,000,000 variations. No. Infinite is infinite. We're talking
forever,
never ending. Never. It's not like a human brain cannot grasp the idea of infinite, but it's forever. Because when I say that there's infinite variations of this moment between you and I, right? So this microphone that's in front of your face, there is a variation in the multiverse where this microphone is moved 1/2 of a millimeter to the left. And the rest of that universe goes on in its whatever. But the only difference was that microphone was 1/2 of a millimeter over.
Yeah.
And that's just the one difference in that entire multiverse, right? In that universe within the multiverse.
Okay.
So eventually, these things need to spin into different existences, and they need to continue. And sorry, I've gotten into the multiverse, but actually, that's not my thought process on the infinite of. Because I just have a passion for the multiverse. What I actually think may happen that allows us to come back is if there's one universe, right?
Okay.
So there's one universe, and
you better fucking hit the shit in post.
What?
You better hit the shit in post.
Hit what shit? Is it bad?
No. Make sure and edit the shit in post.
Oh.
And let me hear it.
Oh.
Before we go.
Oh, I don't.
We're cool.
I don't edit anything.
Oh no, we're at a point we better edit this.
No, I've had 2-hour episodes.
Oh no, we sound drunk and fucking stupid.
Well, do you want to hear it before?
No, we just gotta clean up parts of this. I get what you're saying.
I never edit, man. I never edit. Unless there's something that really bothers you.
Oh, I mean, we gotta clean up this part.
All right, fair enough.
Because we've gone down a path.
Well, so what you asked me about though is just so it's literally around what scares me the most, and what scares me the most is the lack of consciousness.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So the idea that consciousness goes away. So if we go back, so there are two things that I think that I finally found in my brief search of physics, which is the universe is infinite, right?
Okay.
So the universe, let's say it expands and contracts infinitely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true, but I think some people believe it to be true at
From
this
what
point.
they tell us.
So what is consciousness? Is it your brain? Is it a very specific makeup of your electronic parts, like the electrical parts that make up your brain? Or is it some spirit? I don't know. But let's just say it's a very specific makeup of the parts that make you.
Okay.
Let's say that. Okay. So it's just this specific makeup of DNA makes you and your consciousness.
Okay.
Are you buying it?
Yeah, to some extent.
You can say no.
I don't not say no.
It's another
just
double
fucking-
negative.
Well, I get to say double negatives because I am where I am in my fucking
Fair enough.
huh.
So anyway, so my idea is, if the universe always expands and then always eventually retracts and then
Okay.
spits out the same mass, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same materials, infinite times. I mean, we're talking trillions, whatever is after trillions of years.
Yes.
So eventually, your makeup is going to be the same at some point again.
Mm-hmm.
And we're now in these large, vast numbers of years. We're not talking millions, billions, or trillions, maybe even more.
Correct.
Eventually, that stardust is going to come to make up you again.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's your consciousness. So, we're going to wrap this damn thing up because Ben and I are having way too damn much fun.
Wrap it.
Wrap it. Wrap it like it's a high school condom commercial. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, that's important, just so you know. Unless you want children.
Or not.
I mean, Ben and I are both fathers. We love our kids. But, you know. Anyway, so we're going to wrap this damn thing up because it's been fucking fun, but it's been way too damn much fun. And, Ben, I got to tell you, man, hell of a fucking conversation. It's
Too
been
much.
too long, man.
Too much.
All right.
I love it.
So let's just give some finality to this because I think it's important. Because I actually think your fear is a really valid one that a lot of people deal with. In fact, like, dude, like, why do you think I'm fucking starting a podcast at 33 years old when I already have a job? Like,
At 33, and I'm nearly 39.
oh, so you're an old man. All right. Fair
Yes, I'm an old fart. So where do we begin?
enough. I'll start digging your grave tonight. But no, but I think it's important is, like, again, going back to, like, the importance of literally just understanding the things that you want to do versus the things that you need to do, and the things that you truly want to do versus the things that you see other people doing. So I'm going to give you some homework because I want you to come back. I mean, you only live 20 minutes away, so
Like
and now
5 minutes
and-
away. Yeah. Okay, fair.
And now you we have even more reason to hang out again because this is way too much damn fun. So, I think, like, dude, you've got to write a list of the things that you want to do in the next 10 years.
Fair.
Okay? And then come back, and hopefully that's enough to mitigate your fear enough to bring a new horror back. Like, what's another thing that freaks you out? And maybe this time it's just going to be like ghosts or something. Because yours is way too on the nose. It's real.
No,
It's real.
mine is great. I
It
just
is great.
want I especially want guys my age to really reconcile that they need to think about these things.
That's fair.
So
Well,
here we are.
I think everyone should always think about them. Like,
Of course, but I don't think they do.
well, I think the idea of, like, sending kids who are 18 years old 17 years old in some cases to college and saying that you need to pick something that you're going to do for the rest of your life is absolutely fucking insane. Like, I think it's the wrong thing to do. I think we all need to be constant learners for our entire lives and be open to the idea that we're always going to change and we're always going to learn something new. And we should always be open to trying something new, because realistically, if you're intelligent enough, and if you're open enough, you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want. And I'm not saying like you can be president of the United States, Ben.
Well,
I'd vote for you, though.
You could be.
I'd fucking vote for you.
I mean, you saw what the one guy did. I can at least do as well as he did.
I agree.
What?
I agree. So
What?
a month from now,
I'll
December.
be president. That's what you're saying. That's
I was saying,
that's all I hear, Stu Bob.
dude, I love
You
I
don't
love that
listen
enthusiasm.
well enough. You come on,
Maybe that's my problem.
enunciate.
My problem is I don't listen well enough. But if you're not president a month from now, you need to
I
come back
will
on the
be.
podcast.
I'm Ben.
You're Ben. And I would agree with that statement. If nothing else, for the rest of the night. I love you, buddy. Hey, I'm fucking glad you came on the podcast, brother.
On the pod.
On the pod. Dudes, ladies, peace.
Peace.
And this is my podcast. Yeah, this is my podcast. This is my podcast.